Shalom, my homies. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Stacking Triggers podcast, a podcast for casual spikes like you and me and this guy sitting next to me.
I'm so casual.
Very casual. We are in person again because we're at RC Charlotte. That's really it. I played in the main event. You played in the 5K.
5K.
We'll talk about that. I also want to talk about the fact that One Piece is going to be simultaneously releasing all across the world, global release as of 2026, which is going to be interesting. Is there any Gundam news?
There's some red card spoilers, but nothing big.
We'll talk about them next week whenever we actually, or next time when we actually have them in front of us.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, let's get the small thing out of the way. One Piece going global. This is a good thing because remember South Korea.
Yeah.
5 sets behind us, who are 3 sets behind the East, which is where South Korea is the East. I'm curious how South Korea is going to deal with that, or how Bandai is going to deal with that. But a simultaneous release is going to be good for the game. Everyone's going to play under shared metas. It will take away some of the ego that I've seen where Europeans will be like, hey, I came up with this tech, and it's and the Eastern players we were playing this. Why are you saying you discovered this? We discovered this. And it's just fighting over who discovered it. And it's no one cares. Not a person cares.
I don't care.
I don't care. No one should care.
It's One Piece. I don't care.
That's fair. But yeah, so 2026, I don't know if it's the beginning of 2026. I don't know if there's going to be a drop dead point in 2026. But something else that was announced is we're getting starter decks 23 through 28 before the East is. So we're going to have a completely different meta than the East is going to have. Even independent of that, it's going to be interesting. The decks are Shanks, Buggy, Purple Black Luffy, Blackbeard, Yamato, and Jewelry Bonnie. 2 of those decks I play.
Yay.
Already. I kind of dabble with Purple Black Luffy. I don't think the deck's very good in this format. I definitely don't think it's going to be very good in 10 because the deck Blackbeard is good. It's even better. And Blackbeard shuts off all on place. Purple Black Luffy is almost entirely on place. So it's just an unplayable matchup. So I think that was it for One Piece. There's not really much else to talk about. Let's get to RC Charlotte. You played in a bunch of LCQs.
5.
Bill, how many total matches did you win in the LCQs?
1.
Yeah, it was an interesting day for you. What were your matchups?
So I played 5 total LCQs.
Yeah.
For a total of 6 matches.
Yeah.
My matchups were 1 Breach, 2 Belcher, 1 Yogg, and then it was an Esper Murktide, and a Jund Creativity.
Yeah.
Guess who I won against?
If you answered Jund Creativity, you would be correct. You would 100% be correct.
But they don't know what I'm playing, Dan.
Bill, what were you playing?
I was playing the Black, White, Orzhov Blink deck. I don't know if I would call it Blink, because it's the Ketchermost deck that's not running Vile.
Yep.
It blinks, but
sometimes,
but it doesn't have to blink.
Yep.
So I'm using the version that
Bam Zing?
Bam Zing, yes. Be amazing.
Isn't that really it?
I think that's what it is.
Huh.
That's what I got from his username.
Sure.
That's I'm using his deck guide, and so thank you for that. It has been helpful-ish. I just start drawing dead a lot, though.
I watched a lot of your LCQ games, and there were a couple games where I'm just like, the fuck is he doing? I remember there was one game where your friend from your store.
Yes.
Was he and I were like standing behind you for most of them, and then like when you would make a play that we both disagreed with, we'd just kind of look at each other and go. It's like he's punting again.
It's fine. It's fine.
There was it was the Belcher game. The Belcher game you punt like the second Belcher game you punted horrifically.
Also because I was so tired. That was the 5th LCQ.
Yep.
We started at 9:30.
Yep.
And we ended at 4.
Yep.
Is when this match ended. I was to the point of just being delirious, I think. Because I even verbally said, this is game 2. I am going to play this White Orchid Phantom. I'm going to make you have it. Because turn 1 they had shocked in a land, or bolted in a land.
Yep.
Because it's Belcher, right? Like
yep.
it's bolt lands only. And I'm like, I'm gonna make you have it. I played it, and they had it.
They had the spell snare, and I saw that and I'm like, this is the most obvious spell snare I've ever seen in my entire life. There is no other card this one land can be.
Yeah, and I also had Felia in hand as well, so I could have just waited.
Correct.
And made them use the spell snare on the Felia instead.
Or it's specifically in their turn. Yes. Is where you want them to use it.
Yes. So that was unfortunate. I was just tired at that point.
Yeah. Because eventually you get to the point where, like, if Felia resolves, you go Felia, and then you go White Orchid Phantom. And if that resolves, the game just ends.
I go to town.
The game just ends. It doesn't matter about the basic mountain, which I didn't realize Goblin Charbelcher had hidden text on it. It said it deals double damage if you hit a mountain. And I'm like...
Right.
I didn't know. I just I guess it's just because like every time it hits, it's just like, oh, you're just gonna go through your deck. So
that's the thing. And so like I actually will go like if I'll say I'm gonna concede, but I want to look at your deck. Is what I do, because it's like that's what would happen anyway if it fully resolved.
Yes.
Or else I'm gonna just make you. If you say no, I'm going to just make you play it out then.
Right, because it was the same. It was the same way with Breach last format before Grape Shot came back, because you couldn't use Grape Shot because of the One Ring. But you'd go, I'm going to mill my whole deck. I'm going to play Thassa's Oracle. You get to see my whole deck because I would have to mill it out in order to fulfill this condition anyway. So if you want to concede, I can show you my deck. But otherwise, I will play it out, and you'll have to see my deck after the game ends.
Yep.
Because you're going to be dead.
Exactly.
But
I did 5 of those. I think the biggest thing is like this Black-White Ketchum's deck is really bad against certain combo setups. It's more of a mid-rangey. Like, if you're going to be playing creatures, I can deal with that.
Yes. It's going to be... I think it gets better next format. Assuming Breach goes, I think it gets better next format. Although it does have like the silver bullet of Stony Silence on the sideboard, which I maintain. Like if you're not playing Stony Silence on the sideboard of your Black-White deck because you have a Relic of Progenitor's Bane, I'm sorry, accept the non-bow and just tell your opponent to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Because you have a Stony Silence and the Breach opponent can't actually do a single thing
unless they have a specific set.
They have to have Beseiju or Nature's Claim. And they have to try to draw into those cards. And hey, when Tamiyo's clues don't do anything, they don't draw into those cards.
Yeah. So all day the first day, I was running the Drannith Magistrates in the sideboard instead of the Stony Silence. I brought them in like twice. Once against the actual Breach player, and then once against a Belcher, my first Belcher player. And the Belcher players, like, you really probably shouldn't bring those in. They don't really do much.
They don't do anything.
Because, they're going to stop something if I play it turn, like, the Lotus thing on turn 0 or turn 1. But, like, outside of that, I'm probably just going to Whirl for Invention for it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, thanks for the tip.
Yeah. And then there was the 5K that you played in today.
Yes, I had the most best score of 3, 3, and 3. I drew 3 times, I lost 3 times, but I won 3 times. Dan, I'm just mid.
You drew 3 times in a row.
No.
It wasn't 3 times in a row? I thought it was 3 times in a row.
No, I drew 2 times in a row.
All right. Well, I watched both draws, and the first draw, it happens in round 2, and like you're going to draw, and you're just like, so we draw, and your opponent's like, yep, we draw, and so after the score gets registered, I went, don't do that.
Yeah, I had a very commanding position, and
Like it wasn't even close. Like this position, his position was so good,
yeah, I had at least 10 power on the board, I think.
and opponent was at
Like,
less than 10, but they had like a Lord of Atlantis. So it's like, who fucking cares?
well, it's because we went. It's because we went out at turns.
Right, but
Yeah.
still, it's like I would argue. I feel like you could. Well,
I could have proposed.
you propose like I feel my board state is more advantageous than yours by a significant margin. I feel that you should concede to me,
Yeah,
considering that.
yeah, that was a bad thing on my side,
Which-
but
And I talk about other people, and they're like, "Yep, you can totally do that." They can always say no, but you can always just be like, "I think if this game goes another couple turn cycles, I win the game,"
yeah,
and I don't think you have much of a choice in it.
yeah. I've never been in that position. I think this is the most I have ever. No, I've never. I don't think I've ever actually gone to time and drawn. Is the thing.
I've also never gone time and drawn. I've gone time maybe 3 times ever.
Yeah. Today it was a lot, but that's also because like I think I was I was a little stubborn and probably either game 1 or game 2 in my matches, in realizing like, oh, I'm cooked no matter what I draw. So let's just get to game 2 or 3 to try and actually close it out.
Right.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate that I didn't see that. But yeah, it is what it is. I think the funniest play was against the Domain Zoo player. Now you're upset about this player.
I'm upset, but continue.
But I thought it was hilarious. I put out a Dothy Voidwalker. They hit me on the next turn with a Ragavan. That I believe it was dashed.
It was.
And they flip and see a from the top of my deck, Belmerk. They cast it for the impending cost. They mill and they're about to take it. Well, no, they do take it and put it in the hand. We have to call a judge because I realized, oh hey, I have a Dothy Voidwalker right here. And the judge says, well, since nothing else has happened, you can put it back in.
Yep.
And my opponent was very sad
Yes.
because they were trying to take, what was it, the
They're trying to take Flage.
was
Or
it
it was either Flage or Scion.
I think it was Scion.
And then you took Scion for some reason.
No,
You took Flage for some reason. I'm like,
I played the Flage.
what does this do? This doesn't do anything.
I forgot that Flage would sacrifice itself, even though I played that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen a Flage like in person that I didn't think through it. But it was fun, I guess.
Yeah, that opponent at one point mixed his graveyard back into his exile pile.
Yeah.
After you Bogart trawlered him.
Yeah.
And at any point they could have recast that Flage. Or I think there might have been a different Flage that you exiled. They could have cast that Flage.
Yeah.
You wind up winning that game. I'm not there for that. I'm off to do my RC stuff. But
Yeah.
you wind up winning that game. But like, I would be furious if you fucking lost that game.
Yeah, no,
I wanted to be like, what the fuck is your exile pile?
Yeah, and
Is that it? Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and that game went extremely long too, right? Like that game, I think when we started the next game, I think we had about 12 minutes left.
Yeah, you're never finishing.
And so, like in game 2, like I got to a point where I believe he was down to like he was down to like maybe 6, life in total, but he just kept finding like tribal flames and stuff to like just clear my board because, and I was having trouble because I had Vindicates, but every time I would draw a Vindicate, he would have a threat that even if I got rid of his Leyline of the Guild Pact, he would like be killing me with like 1 or 2 turns next.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like I had to keep dealing with these threats, which was unfortunate.
Yeah. There were a few games I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to watch this shit. Because it's just like the domain player just being like, yep, I'm just going to shove my graveyard back, or I'm going to shove my exile pile back into my graveyard. I don't think it was intentional, but it was like, that's such poor game space maintenance that like. And then
he was shaking like a leaf.
Yeah,
too.
and then you had like your Murktide player who was
he was so tilted.
1-1-2 just should like
like I was.
Just like if you're that upset already, drop. Just drop.
Yeah. So he was. So I'm just gonna touch on this because like I actually like flipped out on this guy in the middle of the game, and like because every time I was doing something. And maybe he had a counterspell, or he was trying to declare blocks. He was being like very like shovey with his cards.
Yes, he was. I watched it. There was a time where you swung the Ketchamos, and he like double blocked with Murktide. Like he flashed in subtlety, which like that's an insane thing to do. Flash in subtlety, double block with a 7/7 Murktide, and I was like, that was a really aggressive flash in of subtlety.
Yeah, and like. Something happened and like I think I was trying to like think he claims that I said go to blocks and then I said no wait I don't know but he was like shoving he like shoved his blockers and maybe I said no wait and I was there thinking and then he like shoved his blockers again and I was like dude calm the fuck down.
Just drop. Just drop from the event if you're gonna be like this.
And then I said, calm the fuck down. I'm trying to think through this. And he's like, what? I was like, you keep shoving your cards at me, and I need you to stop. Just stop. And like I did drop a couple more F-bombs, and then he was upset that I swore at him. And I'm like, look. I'm sorry for swearing, but like I've been sitting here and you've been shoving cards at me the entire first game.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to be patient about it, but like I can't anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like in between we shuffle up and like he calmed the F down after I told him to stop.
Yeah, I was there for like game 1. He is just not a happy person to be there.
No.
Again, if you're in a side event and it's very obvious you're not going to cash, and that's what you care about is cashing,
and that you're that upset,
just drop.
Just
drop and fuck off and go away.
Yeah,
cool down.
Like I was there to try to get more practice in with the deck, so it's like that's why I played every round, even though I knew I was probably not.
Well, Bill, tell them the real reason you played every round.
Because I thought I could get below top 100.
No, that wasn't that. No, it was that my RC kept going along.
Oh, that too. Yeah, your RC was going very, very long.
Very long. Oh my
and
God.
by the time it's like I was thinking about going to another event, there was like 1 round left in my thing, and you still had 2 rounds. I was like,
yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know how your RC that started 15 minutes before me went where the point like we were 2 rounds ahead of you.
Yep.
And we had the same number of rounds.
I can tell you why. It's because there's 1,300 players versus 300 players.
That's true.
And there are some slow fucking players out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's going to get to my
Go to your turn.
RC, I went 4-4. Won round 1, lost rounds 2 and 3, rattled off 4 wins in a row, and then lost the last 2. Or 3 wins in a row, and then lost the last 2. Oh no, I lost another. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. every round went 20 minutes overtime. Every single round went 20 minutes overtime. And I'm to the point where I think like there needs to be a level of like competitive rules enforcement where it's between like competitive and pro, where it says like if the round has gone for 20 minutes, you both just get like double game losses or double match losses. Like if you're 20 minutes overtime, you just get double match losses. Or maybe not even 20, maybe it's like 15 minutes.
Or maybe you just draw. Like everybody just draws.
Yeah,
like
you just draw. Yeah. Like One Piece does it. It's like you get 2 additional turns. You each get 2 additional turns or 5 minutes. Now, of course, people abuse that and like will take like their whole fucking turn, and then I pass now. The timer's gone off. I'm gonna win off of random bullshit.
Yeah.
So like you get that. So like maybe like there's gotta be a way to fix that, but like.
Yeah, because like this is getting ridiculous, and the buddy from my shop that you were talking to a lot today too.
Yes, because he was also in the RC.
Yeah, and you guys had the same exact
record.
scores.
Every round went exactly the same. I think we were both 1 and 2 after round 3. We both rattled off to 4-2, and then we went 4-4.
It was funny because I said at one point that you guys were going to play each other, and you were so mad at me.
Shot you. He was on Titan. I played Murktide, which I have not said.
Yeah.
I feel strong. I feel very good about the matchup.
Yeah.
So, like, especially, like, having open deck list and being like, this is Amulet Titan. Cool.
Yeah.
I can mulligan to specific things that I know that I need for sure, as opposed to, like, sure hope this is Amulet Titan.
Sure hope I need this.
Sure hope I need this. Yeah, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't... Because, like, at the rate it was going, it was like we were both going to be 5-3 and then, like, play each other in our win and ins. And I was like, oh my god, it would kill you. But fortunately, we both went 4-4.
Yeah.
I only had one negative player experience, but, like, it was so negative. It wasn't bad. I don't want to get into it, but they just came across as kind of rude. But, like, I think they were a genuinely nice person. I think they're very blunt.
Yeah.
How and like they speak matter of factly, and it's whatever. I'm not gonna hold it against the person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played Murktide. It's double Kaito main deck. Kaito Bane of Nightmares. It's to kind of help in the black-white matchup because boy, the black-white matchup cannot deal with that fucking card. Like you have to get like really tricky to deal with that.
Yes,
card.
I did.
Yeah, we played a match where he went ephemerate. I stun count. I tapped and stun countered his Ketramos, and he goes. I go to swing with Kaito, and he ephemerates, and I'm like, cool. I'm fucking dead.
And I pushed the frog at the same time.
Yep, and I just had nothing left and died.
Yeah.
I played one black-white opponent. I won game 1, and then game 2 was like our games where it was like up until I lost, I was winning the whole game.
Yeah.
Like I felt so far ahead of this fucking opponent, but of course I punted because I just needed to do the exact same thing of tap down, catch him, stun it.
Yeah.
And just live. I just live there, and there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, just force them to have ephemerate, a flicker effect of some kind.
Something that actually turns on the Ketramos.
Yeah.
But whatever. There's nothing really else to talk about with my matches.
We're both playing the 10K tomorrow.
We're both playing in the 10K. But yeah, like my matches were nothing special. The first match I had was awful Magic. But it wasn't because, like... It was because I drew, like... I was playing against Is It Twin, and it wasn't like, oh, it's just because Is It Twin. I really don't think it's a good deck. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like Is It Wizards, but with Twin.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But, like, we just didn't do anything for many turns, and it wasn't even, like, interesting draw go. It was like, oh, I've drawn my 7th land for the game. Go. And he was like... I'm on 3 lands, go. And it's like, what the fuck do either of us do? It was such a boring game.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the way it is. It wasn't him. It was just the way the game drew out.
The cards were shuffled.
Yeah.
In a weird
I
way.
just, game was 1 and 3. I just drew all my lands. Game 2, I don't fucking know what happened. I think I was so checked out after game 1. I was like, I already went into the event with like a piss poor attitude. I didn't feel very good about my deck. I didn't feel good about just like playing in general, not even just the deck.
Yeah,
just
you were
playing at all.
You were at a low.
Yeah, going 4-4. I'm happy about it. It's first RC.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. The goal was still to day 2, and I got kind of close. I guess I don't know. I'm two wins away. Whatever.
I feel like you were kind of close. Because like it just turned out to be just a couple bad draws on your second to last loss.
The Zoo matchup where he goes pre-game ley line for the 3rd time in a row, and then
just always
drops a Scion, and I'm just like, the game ends.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this. I have no consign for this.
Yep.
You have to have consign for it. I don't have consign. The game is over. Because I'm on the draw. I'm on the play. And I don't have counterspell. Like I'm trying to like aggress. Am I on the play? Am I on the draw? I don't remember. I was on the play because I lost game 2. But like I didn't have counterspell, so I'm just kind of like trying to force the issue with Frog and just being like, deal with this.
Deal with my problem.
And then they just go
Close.
Scion, and I'm like, okay, well I can't actually
Yeah.
deal with that. Because I think I go Frog, they snare it, and then and it's a 2 of snare.
Of course.
And I saw it in games 1 and 3. The 2 of snare. And I was like, okay,
That sucks.
sure. Whatever. They made day 2. Good for them. That's my RC.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it, you can. I was ranked like 539th as of the last time I looked. That's good for over 50%.
That's pretty good, Mike.
It's like 40%, I think, top 40%. So
pretty good for your first one, and being on a non-meta deck.
being on a non-meta deck to the point where it's in other. My deck is 100% in other.
Yeah, you're registered as other.
My registered deck is in the other category.
Yeah.
I did not play Oculus. I played straight up Murktide because Murktide is a much better threat in this format.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Because Dismember exists. Dismember being a 1 mana answer to Oculus is very good. That's kind of it. Like a bunch of stuff just deals with Oculus straight up. Like Unholy Heat deals with it straight up. Prismatic Ending deals with it straight up.
Yep.
Flame of Venor deals with it straight up.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of things just like kind of running around that like auto deal with your Oculus. So if like you go 3 mana Oculus, and they go, okay, cool. Prismatic Ending on my turn. All right, it's gone.
Yeah.
Hooray! You spent 3 mana. I also spent 3 mana, but you also wasted all of your graveyard to do this.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about the RC. Anything else you want to say about anything?
No, I'm really tired.
Yeah. For the love of God, people, stop stopping in the middle of the road.
Oh my God.
Stop. If don't just suddenly stop walking just because you feel like it. There's a million people behind you trying to get to places. The amount of people that just stop walking whenever I'm trying to get my fucking table for the RC, I wanted to scream. I was so angry. Also,
judges, listen. Listen for people to yell judge.
that one was less egregious. But also, last thing, I went 0-3 on red tablecloths. 0-3 on red tablecloths.
Make all the tablecloths the same color.
Make them all red. Make them all black. Make them all black. I was 4-1. I was 4-1 on black tablecloths. I was 0-3 on red.
The fact that you have that as a statistic is hilarious in my opinion.
Like the red tablecloths were higher number tables.
Yeah.
So like that tells you everything about like where I was and what was going on with at the time. I don't want to see a red tablecloth for a long time. That's what it comes down to.
10K tomorrow, only red tablecloth.
No. The RC should be entirely held within the red tablecloths at this point. There should only be like 300-ish players, and the red tablecloths went up to like 180 tables.
Dang.
So it'll be fun.
It's fine.
All right, that's it for this episode. Let us know, did you go to the RC? How'd you do? If you didn't go to the RC, or if you did go to the RC and you played like LCQs, you played the 5K or the 10K, let us know how you did and what you played. Also, let us know
If you saw us.
If you saw us, you probably didn't. But let us know what you think of our deck choices. Me on Murktide, him on Orzhov Ketramos, and all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, the general spiel. Thanks for watching. And until next time, keep calm and spike on.